Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us today as we chat with one of our awesome RE/MAX Centre Realty agents. I hope you've been enjoying a few of the videos that we've been posting. You've been able to watch them and, as I mentioned, get to know our agents. I've been getting to know them a little bit better as well. And today we will be diving deep with Nicole Hoover. So Nicole, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We're pumped to have you and to learn more about one of the agents at the center of RE/MAX Centre Realty. So Nicole, for those who may not know you, which is a total shame, and we're gonna have to change that, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, a bio, if you will, some highlights? Take it away.
Sure. I'll start at the beginning. I'm from State College. I was born and raised here, and then I continued to live here and went to Penn State. After graduating from Penn State, I worked in internal audit, and I lived in Pittsburgh for 6 years. Then I came back, continued in that career, and then became a realtor, and that's what I'm doing now.
Awesome. Internal auditing, that sounds scary. Were you scared to be an internal auditor?
Yeah, it was interesting. Usually I would introduce myself and say, and I'd say, I'm an internal auditor. And then they wouldn't ask any follow-up questions.
No one wants to get to know you.
Exactly.
Unlike today.
So that's why real estate is great, because people very much want me working with them rather than not really wanting to answer my calls.
Yeah, no, that is fascinating. You're scaring me already, but I'm glad you're in real estate. You're almost too friendly and too smart to be doing that. Shouldn't have said that. So Nicole, I hear you have a few nicknames.
I do, Kate.
You have to tell me about these.
Yeah, so when I was younger and growing up and playing sports, my maiden name is Scipione. Mm-hmm. So everyone would call me Sip or Sippy or some variation of Scipione. So that's been my nickname my whole life. And then I got married and people were like, is it still okay if I call you Sip? And I was like, of course. But now that I'm in real estate, when I started with my team, I was actually pregnant with our son, Colin. Mm-hmm. And so I was massively pregnant and I had a stress fracture in my foot. So I was wearing this walking cast. And I think, I wore a riding boot on the other leg a lot because it was a flat shoe. So I always had boots on. I had this walking boot on. And so everyone on my team started calling me Boots. And now it's kind of catching on. So that's my new nickname.
I love it. I don't know how we work that into advertising, but I think that it's a great idea.
We got to make it happen.
That's good. I'm a big nickname person. So I love that you have a bunch of nicknames and especially the one Boots for sure.
Thank you.
So Boots, what do you enjoy when you do have some downtime? Are you enjoying any TV shows or movies lately that you'd like to share?
Yeah, so actually on our team, a few of us started watching Suits. So I worked on that for most of the summer, and I actually just finished it. So I'm looking for something new, but I really enjoyed it. That's been one of my favorites I've watched so far.
I love how dedicated you are. You're like, I worked on it all summer.
I did. I toiled over Suits. I think 7 seasons, and there's like 15 episodes in a season. Yeah, it was a big body of work, but I finished.
This is great. I mean, as I mentioned, I feel like I learn things about everyone during each of these interviews that we do, and I'm going to have to jot down Suits. I'm going to have to watch that.
Put it on your list. It's awesome.
This is great. I wasn't sure with the kids if it was going to be like something cartoon related or Disney related, but Suits it is, huh?
Well, the problem with them, so my children are 3.5 and 1.5, and they do watch it, a little bit, but they watch the same thing over and over and over. And when you try for something new in, they're not very receptive to it. So I got to do all my TV time, late at night.
What's wrong with them? My goodness. Crazy. So Nicole, is there any place that you enjoy traveling to or have traveled to in the past that you don't mind sharing with us?
Sure. Yeah. My husband and I, we've done a couple of the national parks, but probably our favorite, we just had an awesome trip to Sequoia National Park and Yosemite National Park. We hit them both the same trip, and it was just, gorgeous views. We saw some pretty cool wildlife. We saw a brown bear in the wild and a moose very close up, because we were actually, we were with a guide. My husband was doing fly fishing, and we were in a rowboat, and the moose was right on the edge of the stream. So it was pretty awesome.
Wow.
That was definitely a memorable, very cool location.
That is very cool. So do you fly fish as well?
I do not. No. A lot of people ask me because my husband's a big fly fisherman, you know, my dad, my brothers. So people ask me if I want to get into it, but I kind of, you know, enjoy my me time a little bit. So when my husband goes fishing, which now that we have 2 kids is not that often, but I like to have a little me time.
Again with the smarts. I love it.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Is it fair to call you a runner? Do you enjoy running?
I do. Yeah. I'm not a marathoner by any means. But I have joined a running group. So I try and go at least twice a week with them. And I, you know, yeah, so I am a runner.
Yes, you are. I love it. So you talked about where you've enjoyed traveling, which super jealous about that, by the way. Let's talk a little bit about, instead of the traveling memory, a real estate memory. So do you have one of those that we would like to hear about?
Sure. Yeah. I feel like every transaction has memories.
Yes, ma'am.
There's something that sticks out from every transaction. But I was thinking about this the other day, and I just had a couple, just a super sweet couple. They were moving here from out of town. The husband was actually commuting every day, and it was 2 hours each way.
Wow.
So yeah, it was not a long-term fix. They needed to find something. And you know, the wife had come up a couple of days to look, you know, we didn't see anything. And I know, you know, the market in State College can move very quickly at times. So I was out looking with him one day, and he said, you know, Nicole, I know if we see one of these houses, it could be gone, you know, later tonight or tomorrow if we're not able to put a bid in or an offer in. And he said, but I don't think I can offer on a house without her seeing it. And I was like, don't worry about it. You know, we'll figure it out one way or another. Just don't worry about it. Later that night, one of the houses we saw, he called me and he said, Nicole, we want to put an offer in on it. Wow. And I love that he, you know, when he found the right one, he knew. And they love it. You know, they've been there a year now, and they're loving the house. So it really just worked out for the best. And I don't know, I just thought it was pretty cool. He thought he couldn't do it, and then that day he did it.
That's great. And I mean, that's a fantastic memory, but also a really great lesson. Sometimes you just know, and sometimes the worrying doesn't really help. I know it's easier said than done, myself included, but it's a great memory as well as a great real estate lesson. So thanks, Nicole.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. So Nicole, thank you again for joining us. Truly cannot thank you enough for taking time out of your super busy day in order to let us learn a little bit more about you. So you have a great rest of the day, and I hope everyone else does as well.
Thanks so much, Kate. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.